Start us out today.
How am I going to start us out?
I'm in
you know
trouble.
what? Because here we go. We're going to do a segment that I like to call Sean's Unpopular Opinion of the Week.
He usually does this segment
Once a
every
week.
week, and I am literally fed up with the CD5 race and the snipping.
Because, man, I really am a moderate when
Right.
it comes to my political views in a lot of ways. And so some of that stuff rubs people wrong. But, also I put up other stuff too, like bacon. I'm not a fan of bacon. So I got a bunch of people, you like bacon?
How do you not like bacon?
I don't like
No,
it. It smells horrible.
So the problem of the day is, and I explained this to everybody. I said, look, I was at the Pride Parade the other day, and I'm sitting with a bunch of Gina. Look, we all know each other, and these are friends of mine that I'm sitting with before we go up to the parade, and they tell me about Trey Martin getting this PAC money from AI and data
All
centers.
this
Well,
stuff.
there's nothing to prove it.
There's nothing to prove that.
So I sent you the documents
Yep.
of where his PAC money has come from. It is a labor PAC.
It's a labor, and
He's
he doesn't have
running
any control of it, really.
And he's running as a
labor candidate.
guy. That's,
I thought it was amazing how many people posted on your post on Facebook who were against labor. I mean,
Right.
they were out there like against labor, and I was like,
that is what our party is. I mean, I really, maybe we need to give everybody a lesson of that is what the Democratic Party is.
he's running labor because that's what he is. That's what he does. He's an iron worker. He's in a union. He was a union representative for that. Of course, he's going to be labor.
And I will tell you, Graham Plattner, the guy that's running up Massachusetts, the election is today, who is a problematic guy, but he's a labor guy.
I was like, wow, man, they're from management like me and you?
Well, it happens.
I know, that's just kind of weird. I thought that was weird. They were actually going. It was kind of like Trump sycophancy weird.
So you and I discuss a couple of things. Neither one of us cares who wins. We just want somebody to win that
wins at the end.
And can you beat Stephanie Bice? Because
you beat Stephanie Bice.
I don't care how likable you are. Stephanie Bice is going to be a fierce competitor.
Honestly, either one can beat Stephanie Bice.
I think it's because she's only gerrymandered to a 10-point advantage.
I don't know. If you go to Stephanie Bice's Facebook page,
Nothing.
Nobody likes her. Nobody. Not even people on the right. People like her like, oh man, you're screwing up here.
She has advocated her duty to us.
Yeah.
By just going along and getting along with everything. And she's my representative. I don't need to know what Kevin Hearn does, even though I do. Stephanie Bice is my representative. And she has advocated her duty. So what I would like to see...
that's Republican women. Yeah. Really. She does whatever the men tell her to do.
I know it sucks.
Which is usually, I want my coffee black with 2 lumps of sugar.
Right.
That's what she's regulated to.
And she's an old friend of mine, so I don't want people to think that I'm just being mean politically. I'm disappointed in her as a person. Look,
that's my job, be mean politically.
Right. She knows what this country's about, and she knows what she's doing is not holding up to her constitutional definition of her job as a congressperson.
Yeah.
And I have a perfect right to be angry about
town halls, doesn't talk to anybody
except
just
vetted
people. Yeah. Look, I talked to these 15 vetted people today.
And half of them we probably know from Oklahoma State Board of Ed.
It's always the same 15 people that go to all these things. Hey, look, I'm at the Oklahoma Farm Bureau with these same 15 people. I met over here,
Right. Who I just want to point out, Oklahoma Farm Bureaus were the biggest fans of Chinese agriculture that you've ever imagined.
Yeah.
You need to deal with them sometime and find out they're not that farmer friendly.
They're one of the biggest around the nation.
Insurance companies.
Yeah, and they fund GOP stuff left and right all over the place.
And the reason they do that is because they are for big corporate farms. I hate to break it to everybody and break their hearts and all this stuff.
And that's where Stitt is too. He's a big insurance kind of guy.
Where the money is.
Big insurance.
Yeah. Well, it literally is where the money is. So
let's get back on this.
Let's put down some ground rules. So Trey Martin's, all I can find is labor money, and so Gina Nelson. Sorry, but her name is spelled as Jenna. Gina brought in $400,000. She's got less than $4,000 left. Adam Graham has run her campaign. Adam Graham is a deceptive human being. I've worked him before, and that sounds like his messaging, saying that this came from AI and data centers because that's the boogeyman of the day.
Yeah, it is.
That's why it bothers me. So there was.
And it doesn't. Is it coming from that? No, it's coming from labor groups, right?
Which his money is labor groups. She had $400,000 she got in, but they've spent it. So to go forward against Stephanie Bice, if she's the winner, she has $4,000 in the bank. If he goes forward, as of right now, best I can tell her is
I guess she's banking that if she gets to the general,
she'll get a bunch
more money.
But $4,000, all you got left what's to show for it? And I mean
Yeah.
this. I mean this. What's to show for it? Because I'm a business person. You're a business person. And you go, look, I don't necessarily really care. I want somebody that can beat
You know,
Stephanie
I won't
Buck.
get a call all day.
Yeah,
for the
until,
rest of the
until
day.
we're on. Yeah.
Murphy's Law. Anyway, sorry, man.
And then how do we all come together on Wednesday and
Yeah.
support the candidate that gets through?
So that's my question for anybody who's watching or anybody who posts on our stuff.
This is like the
so
Bernie
if Trey
Hillary
does
shit.
win, are you going to vote for him in the
Yeah.
general, or are you just going to sit home?
Right. Because labor is what the Democratic Party
I thought that was
built on.
weird too, man. I couldn't believe so many people came out against labor on your deal, and these are Democrats.
So Oklahoma is not a labor.
Listen, guys, you probably want to delete that stuff because as soon as I go home, I'm screenshotting your post
Yeah.
on his stuff where you hate labor.
I don't understand where it comes from. Look, we got about 4 minutes left to talk about this.
Yeah.
Here's the thing is I was a union laborer. I was just literally a laborer. I did jackhammers on the ceiling of a parking garage, and I was in the actors union. So there's the reason I was able to buy my first house. That is the stuff they created that has now more or less gone away because there's no representation. And good for Graham Plattner. I don't care what anybody thinks of him or stupid tattoos or anything else. I don't care. I want somebody that represents labor. I don't agree with everything anybody says.
Yeah.
So you got him and you got the guy in Nebraska, and I really like the guy in Nebraska as well.
Yeah. Yeah.
I like that
And
message.
I like the guy from Maine. I know he's got some issues
Oh, yeah.
and stuff, but you know.
He was sending new. Okay, but that's
not- yeah.
modern generation does
Yeah,
this stuff.
I mean, you know, and that has nothing to do with his politics.
Mm-mm.
That doesn't have anything to do with policy.
Look
We're-
at
we're
what
just-
the Republicans have been okay with, and Democrats are worried about little things. And I'm
Yeah.
not saying the guy's a great guy or anything, so please don't leave me any weird messages.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, hey, look, labor's trying to get a foothold back in things, and I'm okay with it.
Yeah. Yeah. You know, am I worried about that? Maybe a little. But hey, you know, that's actually should be where the party's at in a lot of ways. And one of the things that got me was, yeah, you know, look, you put out this stuff on Trey Martin where his funding's coming from.
Right.
He's got like what 84,000.
84,000 by people
And
writing
that's
it.
people writing him his
Right.
campaign checks. This isn't dark pack
Yeah.
money where he doesn't have any control or anything else, and it shouldn't be coordinated.
And then the
with.
labor PAC is giving him
And
$300,000.
then you know he gets that dirt. Even the Bernie Sanders endorsement really
It's
threw a
huge.
lot of people off, and then the excuses start flying.
Right. And you
You
go,
know?
why is that a bad thing that we've had a nationally endorsed candidate?
Yeah,
Look, Mazie will probably get through the primary because President Trump endorsed it.
yeah.
And that's what it takes to win.
Man, he did I thought his performance at that debate too was
Oh, it doesn't matter.
horrendous.
He was just trying to be cool.
This is horrendous. What he said. You know, there's that one
All
clip
of us
of him
hate her.
being just mean and.
The
Well,
left
that's where the GOP is.
It
right?
is. Look, if you watch the news in the morning.
I guarantee you, Mike wouldn't be able to take it if it was aimed at him. That's how he is.
Right.
He wants to dish it.
But-
There's no way that.
But
coward's
if
gonna
you
be
and
able to
I
take
were
it.
running against him as a Democrat, we'd beat him to death. But
Yeah.
we do not have a person ready for that
No.
fight. I'm sorry.
We don't.
So,
No.
all right, before everybody gets mad at us about that one, look,
Unpopular
One-
opinion of the week.
one of these
Sean's-
two
this
people is
Sean's
gonna
unpopular
win.
opinion of the week.
one of these two people is going to win.
Yeah, one of them.
I love the fact that there's good competition for a change.
Yeah.
And I love the fact that money came
You
here.
know, that's so telling because here we are. We see News 9 putting these debates out. Have they had a Democrat one yet?
No,
No.
because News 9 doesn't care about Democrats.
No,
I'm
because
sorry,
you've got a guy
but
over there who owns it, who's running things.
Griffin.
Well, David Griffin, whose father started it, and he's a big time GOP sycophant, big time. He's never going to have a Democrat on there for anything. And what happened to Trey Savage, man? You know, with Don Doc, used to be fairly nonpartisan. He got involved with David Griffin's money, I think. And now he's just doing the
I'm
bidding.
just zip it over here
Yeah.
because I know too much on this deal.
You know too much.
Look,
you guys
we
think
don't,
about it
we
here?
have, the best thing we have in Oklahoma is there's like the guerrilla news and
Yeah.
what you and I do and all these
Ron
other
Durbin,
people.
yeah.
Right. And now there's about 10 different people doing it. That's the closest thing to real news we are getting.
Pretty much. Yeah, local news. Nobody's paying attention to that
Channel 4 is
anymore.
good, Channel 25 is
Yeah.
good, 5's good, 9 is usually late to the game, and they
Yeah.
only do it when they have to cover it.
Yeah,
Sorry.
when they have to cover
And
it.
look, they're making a fortune right now because it's
But
nothing
anyway,
but
guys,
political.
yeah, when it comes down
Alright.
to this race here, to end
Let's
it
get out
all,
of here, yeah.
in summarization, or whatever
It's
the word is.
in summer, right?
Whoever wins,
Yeah, support them on Wednesday.
Gina,
Gina, spelled Jena.
yeah, Gina, or Trey, whoever wins, golly, guys got to support the winner.
Yeah.
Really. You know,
Cut the Bernie Hillary stuff. We've got to stop doing this. If we're going to accomplish
doing
anything.
that stuff.
Gotta stop
doing that.
All right, let's get out of here,
Let's
homie.
get out.
All right, good to see you, man.
We'll see you guys. Thanks for listening. Later.
Are we just going to get yelled at, Kim?